Hi, it's me again, and the BBC propaganda machine has been in full swing because there's going to be some bad press coming for the BBC because the licence fee's going up this year, and that's going to cause some bad press. People are already unhappy about paying what they pay. When it goes up, they're going to be a lot more unhappy. So the BBC are rolling out the old PR to make you feel that you need the BBC, that they add value to the country. And that's where this story comes in. Look at this one. BBC radio stations first to close if licence fee replaced with subscription. They're trying to scare you. They're trying to say, look, if you want to lose the licence fee and you want us to fund our business another way, you're going to lose something that's very important to you. Local radio. No one does local radio like us. We're the BBC. We're the best at it. Apart from the fact that all of last year there was headlines left, right and centre about how the BBC are knackering local radio. They're kind of amalgamating it, so it's not going to be as local to you anymore. They're making cuts. They're cutting loads of their most popular presenters are going. Loads of the old people are going, bringing in cheaper people, amalgamating it all into one, sharing shows across the country, like what Heart did when Heart went around buying local commercial stations and putting them all into one. Economy of scale. That's probably the only business model for local radio. So they're already knackering it. But they're saying now, well, you take our licence fee, we'll take your local radio. Local radio's dying anyway, sadly. So a panel of experts will consider options to replace the licence fee, including a Netflix-style monthly subscription, which would mean putting BBC content behind a paywall and allowing the broadcaster to compete for advertising. Why aren't they being allowed to compete for advertising? Oh, that's because they don't want to, because they're getting 3.7 billion quid a year for doing naff all. They should be competing for advertising. If they're having to please advertisers, they're incentivized to make better stuff. And put it behind a paywall, well, the BBC have come out and said they want all local radio to stop being broadcast on FM and DAB and to go on the BBC Sounds app. Now, why would they want all local radio on an app? It's so they can charge a subscription for using it, right? That's what's going to happen anyway, whether you have the licence fee or not. I can see a way that we're going to, because in Ireland they have the licence fee, but they show ads as well. That's coming. That's coming. And then that's just an absolute piss take. It's having your cake and eating it, isn't it? However, the BBC would have to close many of the services it currently offers if public funding was removed, industry figures warned. No, industry figures that support the BBC may be warned that, but is that going to be the actual reality? Because a lot of the BBC services are going anyway, with or without the BBC losing its current funding model. The BBC's national and local stations would be first to go under a subscription system. Phil Riley, chief executive of Boom Radio, the station which has successfully targeted older Radio 2 listeners, told I. Well, what would you care about that? Phil Riley of Boom Radio. That's just going to help you. It means more listeners for you, mate, doesn't it? There is no technical solution to placing BBC stations transmitted via DAB and FM as well as millions of households watching behind a paywall. There is a technical solution for Mr. Riley for placing BBC radio stations behind a paywall. As I mentioned a minute ago, it's something the BBC want to do. They want all their local radio on the Sounds app. And then that's an easy one, just to sell a subscription to that. You can't log in without it. That could be very easily implemented, and I think it's what the BBC want to do. What about watching TV on Freeview behind a paywall? Piece of piss, Mr. Riley of Boom Radio. They've already got iPlayers built into every telly you buy now anyway, easily installed on your phone and your tablet and your computer. You have to sign in to use iPlayer, so how would it be any different for that sign-in to be a paid sign-in? The infrastructure is there. It's there now. Allowing advertising on BBC stations would decimate the entire radio industry, predicted Mr. Riley. There wouldn't be enough commercial funding to support the cost per hour of BBC local radio. That's probably true. That's probably true. That's why you don't see many local small commercial stations anymore. They did get bought up by Heart and other companies, didn't they, and amalgamated into one because of the economy of scale. That's probably true. But local radio listening figures are in the toilet. They're going down every single month. And the BBC are killing it more already. So I don't know what the answer to local radio is. I don't know the answer to that. But I know less and less people are listening to it. Could it be because of YouTube and there's more people in your local community offering local news that way, or there's more choice of what to listen to anyway. I don't know. I don't know. But local radio is already dying. Cutting the funding, would that just be the death nail in it? Or would that help them survive? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I know that local radio is in trouble whether the BBC keep the licence fee or lose it. It's in trouble anyway. What do you think about this? We've heard a lot of things about local radio and the BBC. A lot of the presenters who have lost their jobs have started speaking out. The BBC are trying to cut as much as they can. I mean, you think how much it must cost to have the buildings all around the country and the infrastructure and the staff, not just presenters, like admin, IT, technical staff. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, isn't it? So I don't know where it's going to go, but we're probably going to find out quite soon. Let me know your thoughts on it all down in the comments below. Way down there, leaving your comment, press all the buttons and everything as well, because if you do that, hopefully I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.